Hello everyone and welcome. I can see there's quite a few number of attendees who've joined us again today, and we're about to start. We're just going to wait for a couple more people to join us. Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. Here at Modena, we are really pleased that you could be joining us, where we will be speaking to you about what's new in Revit MEP on the electrical side 2021. My name is Michael Bredenkamp, and I'm the Strategic Accounts Manager for Modena Infrastructure in the construction and MEP space, and I'll be co-hosting your session today. During this week, we'll be hosting a total of 10 webinars where we'll be showcasing some of the new features available in the 2021 release versions. If you haven't already registered for the last few webinars this week already, please check the link in the comments box and register. This webinar will be recorded. It will be sent to you in the next day or so to recap on the content that we have covered today. And if you'd like to share it with any of your colleagues who weren't able to attend, please feel free to do so. You will also be able to go onto our website where the recordings will be hosted, or you can also log on to our Modena Design Center's YouTube channel. If you have any questions during this webinar, please post your questions in the comment box and one of our technical assistants will be able to answer it for you. And for those of you who have just joined us, welcome. Now let me introduce you to today's presenter, Dino. Dino is one of Modena Infrastructure application engineers whose specialized skills are in mechanical and wet services engineering. His product skill sets include Revit, AutoCAD, Navisworks, and BIM 360. His industry belief is knowledge and application of knowledge equals success. Now, before we get started with the presentation, we'd love to hear your feedback at the end of the session. So if you could please complete the quick survey for us to provide us with some valuable feedback. We'll be selecting 5 lucky participants at random from each webinar to receive a free course on our training platform. I will be posting that link in the comments in the Q&A box. So without any more delays, let's get started. Over to you, Dino.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to What's New in Revit MEP Electrical 2021. I'm your host, Dino Kapic. Before we move on, I just want to give you guys an introduction to Modena. Modena is a South African leading design technology consulting firm within the AEC industry. We are a trusted partner in solving real-world problems with the most advanced design technology solutions, innovations, and deep industry knowledge. Just so you guys can put a face to the consultants that you will be dealing with, our director is Katie McKnight. Our infrastructure construction MEP strategic account manager is Michael Bredenkamp. And then myself as the applications engineer, Dino Kapic. So let us get started with what's new in Revit 2021 Electrical. So let's talk about the platform and all the features that are available for those across the Revit board. And the first feature I want to highlight is the PDF and image links. One thing that has changed is we have linked PDFs and images from local or cloud file locations. This is great news for those of you who are using BIM 360 Docs or Design, where you can upload your PDF and images to the cloud. Take note that you can also select multiple rows now to reload and remove links. In the past, this was a tedious workflow where you had to select one link at a time and remove it. That has been done away with, and you can now do multiples. Please convert links to import as needed. So this was a feature introduced in AutoCAD back in the day where you could link in a PDF and import from the PDF itself. That has now been given into the Revit environment, and you are more than welcome now to import the PDF into lines and hatches in your Revit environment. Also, you can use the show button now to find a PDF or image in a project. Yes, that is correct. If you are looking for a specific PDF, you no longer have to filter through your project views. You can simply go to your managed links, select the link, and show it within the project. Other new changes, let's talk about the EU server here in BIM 360 quickly, because this does affect your Revit. Cloud model hosting in Europe is now available. So you can store Revit cloud models on a European data center. You no longer have to use the US. And please note that location determined by location of the BIM 360 account is now active. So if you're under the EMEA and you activate your hub, it'll automatically go to the EU server. If you'd like, you can contact us here at Modena. We will contact Autodesk and we can put you on the US server if you'd like. Other platform changes to your Revit environment, of course, is an improved Vim 360 project navigation in your Revit home. Well, this looks like a better experience for BIM 360 account and project users while you are navigating your BIM 360 project homepage. So we can see the difference now between recent files and cloud-hosted files within our project page. We also have the ability to search for a long list of projects within this environment. And of course, you have a direct access to the file saved in BIM 360 with a Go button that is available. You can find this button right under recent files. There's a big B with a BIM 360. When you select it, you can then choose your hub, your project, and the Revit file you'd like to work with. And don't forget, we have an easy access help link. So whenever you need help within your Revit project home, you're more than welcome to select online help, and it will then guide you for your necessary, it will guide you and help you along your way and your journey within Revit. Additional platform changes such as customized Revit workspace is now available. So we can provide a personalized experience for the way you work based on the discipline and primary role. So if you, like me, are working in the MEP sphere, we can then customize a UI navigations tab and get rid of all unnecessary ribbons. So what does that mean? Well, like me, if you would like to get rid of structural, precast, infrastructure construction, and you don't want those ribbons available while you are working, you can simply switch them off and switch on the tabs and ribbons you would like to showcase. Once there, you can then start working or restore back to your default settings as provided. Other items that have updated now as well is your scheduling. So schedules are now made easier to follow with row striping. So what do I mean by this? If you go select on the schedule properties within your Revit project, you are more than welcome to select on appearance, stripe rows, select a color, and then press OK. It makes it easier to follow rows across a large schedule. How does that look? Well, you get a basic row stripping schedule within the Revit environment. This is easily scanned information on both schedule views and on the sheets. Other items updated as well is your view filters. So if you, like me, use the visibility graphics box, a new column enable in view added to the filter tab has been done. And this looks like so with an enabled filter column within the filters dialog box. So what does this do? Well, we have a quickly disable view filter without having to remove the filter from the view itself. And if you continue to view the element that fit the criteria of the view element, you can toggle enable filters on and off as you go along. Note that if you enable by default when a new view filter is applied to the view when this is accessible. Note that you can also still toggle your visibility as well within your filters box. Additional changes was the rotation tags with your components. This has been improved, so we have the ability now to control tag rotation behavior within the Revit project. The way we go about doing this is we have to edit the tag in a family editor functionality, and we need to make sure that we enable the rotate with component parameter. So once this is done, you can then bring the tag into the project and rotate it according to the component that you are tagging. Other additional changes such as void cuts, family geometry types, and instance parameters have been updated. So voids can now be associated to family types and instance parameters. We have customers no longer needing to create two families to achieve what can be done in one. And of course, voids can be controlled by a cut, some family types, but not others. So if you go to your void properties within the family component, you'll see that you've got cut geometry, which you can activate or deactivate. You can also associate that parameter with a parameter you have created previously. Other platform and additional changes and improvements are consistent line type naming. So we have hard-coded Revit line styles now available that are live within your Revit project. you'll notice that there are brackets appearing on the ends of these items, showcasing to you that they are installed and hard-coded within the Revit software itself, much like AutoCAD, where you had these preset line type styles. You can also get Autodesk content now. So if you go to the Insert tab, you can select Get Autodesk Content, and you can go find live content that Autodesk has made available for your region, from families, tags, and so forth. We also have the benefit of sun and shadow refinements done within the project environment. So we have improved the accuracy of shadows in polar locations. And for those of you using heat loads, heat and cooling load calculation tables, note that your sunrise and sunset times now update with the project location. So let's actually get to the main reason why everybody here is here. And this is for the Revit MEP electrical features. So specific features now for those who use the electrical items. Let's start with MEP electrical on the circuiting name. So we have a circuit naming scheme that is enabled in the electrical settings. So if you go to your settings, you can now create your own customized circuit name with the parameters available. From here, you have a circuit identifier in the panels as well. So if you go to your panel schedules, you can go identify specific circuits and add them into your schedules themselves. If you have circuit identifiers on wires and devices, you can add that now into your tags. And the great thing about this is if you select on a wire, it will show you the circuit that the wire is connected to. And of course, for those of you who are using French and UK templates, you can now preload by project default settings. And by the way, for those of you using South African templates, we take a lot of information from UK, so that by project should be available. Remember, better flexibility with circuit naming and schemes within your Revit MEP electrical. More changes and updates. Single phase LN panel boards have now been introduced. So we have the ability to add single phase LN panel boards. So in your MEP electrical settings, if you go to distribution systems, you'll see that you have a naming convention now where you don't have to use the Y or single, but you can now put in LN. Also, panel schedules now hide columns from unused phases. So you can go to your panel schedules and update them to hide or show these phases that are used or unused. And of course, distribution systems and panel checkouts for compatibility and warning mismatches. So if you open up a panel and there's a mismatch, there will be a warning that now showcases this, and you are more than welcome to go correct that mismatch. So support a single phase LN panel in your projects. If we talk about the switchboard and circuit quantities, well, the number of rows in a panel schedule for switchboards now reflect the quantities of the circuits, not the number of connected poles. So you'll see there in your schedules, you have that number of rows and quantities. We have updated parameter naming, max number of circuits. This used to be called max number of poles. And you'll see when you select it, you can now choose your max number of circuits towards your switchboard or your DB panels. So accelerated reflect the quantity or quality of circuits in your schedule as well. If we talk about the switchboard itself, specific circuit phase and selection, we have added switchboard switch phases controls to set phase of 1 and 2 pole loads. So in your schedule itself, you will see that you have a nice little icon there called switch phases. And this allows you now to switch phases between 1 and 2. And the parameter of spaces and spaces may be modified. So poles and frames can be modified within your schedules. A nice nifty little feature also introduced was the panel schedule nodes listed under sheets in Project Browser. So previously, we didn't have the ability to go find specific panel schedules in our templates or our sheets. However, we had to go find this a manual way. So what happens is panel schedules now appear under the sheet that they are listed in the properties. So you can always click and go back to that specific schedule and update it. Panel schedules are now searchable in the project browser, and this is a big benefit because it makes life so much simpler and easier just to type in the schedule we are looking for and make it appear. Circuit and panel properties may be modified in Properties palette from the panel schedule view as well. So there are more things new, not just with Revit, but also at Modena. So news at Modena. We are conducting a host of web series throughout this week. So if you would like to see what is new in other disciplines, see the other webinar recordings today or on YouTube even. So you can go to the link as shown on the screen and go find the recording you would like to register for. Please note that on Thursday, the 28th of May at 12 o'clock, we have a web series for what's new in Revit 2021 plumbing. We also have a series for AutoCAD 2021 on the 28th of May at 2 p.m. But for those of you who would like to see something very new, very different, we have a generative design for architects and interiors on Friday, the 29th of May at 2 p.m. Also, stand a chance to win one of 5 coupons to a Modena online course. Complete the feedback form that will be sent to you after this webinar. And then, of course, for those of you who are using Revit and would like to extend their Revit BIM 360 design trial, come talk to a Modena assistant and we'll help you set up that trial for your Revit and COVID-19 workspace. BIM 360 Design Extended Trial is there for all those Revit users who would like to take their workspace into the cloud. Remember, the design allows you to collaborate with other Revit users. So let a Modena assistant help you with the setup of your BIM 360 Design Hub. Contact us to find out more. Michael, did I miss anything on my side?
No, Dino, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. That was a great session. I mean, there's been some great new interesting functionality that's been added over the last couple of years, and I'm quite sure everyone agrees that 2021 is going to be a brand new release, which is going to be fun, and we're going to gain some great perspective moving forward. So if anybody has any questions, can you please post the questions in the Q&A box, and Dino will already answer those, but I can see we already have some questions for you, Dino. The first question we have is from Zandasile. Says, can single line diagrams be created in Revit, or does it only create the schedules?
So when we are using single line diagrams in Revit, there are 2 ways to go about this. The first way is to follow the system and circuit naming within your electrical feature. So if you place down lights and a DB panel and some switches, and you create a circuit and system out of that and then add wires, you can toggle your detail views to go between 3D and 2D items. Also, if you expand Revit even more and you open up the drafting view, you are more than welcome to draw in your single line diagrams there. Note though that if you open up a single line diagram drafting view, whatever you create there will not go into the schedules. Remember, your live parameters happen in your views, whether it's plan, 3D, or sectional. Those items, such as lines, wires, DB panels, and switches, have parameters built in that read within a schedule environment.
Fantastic. And the next question from him was, what about on distribution boards?
On distribution boards, again, same thing happens. If you're looking to do a detailed line diagram, my suggestion is to open up a drafting view and do a detailed view of your distribution board.
And are you able to do power analysis, Dino?
Unfortunately, there is no real power analysis within the Revit environment. You can do the basics. So there is power analysis schedules that you can create using the available parameters in your Revit project. You also have the ability to do check systems, such as circuiting systems within Revit Analyze. And of course, there is the panel schedule systems that gives you a somewhat power analysis component to it. So I would encourage you to go use those features. And if you have any more questions about those features, please do contact us here at Modena. We are more than happy to help.
Fantastic. Dino, a couple more questions here. What is your favorite new feature?
So I've got actually a few favorite new features. One of my favorite platform features is the ability to go find PDFs and images on my managed links and just get rid of them. It makes auditing my files a lot quicker and easier. And then for my favorite electrical feature, I'm a big fan of the new circuit custom naming schemes, especially with the parameters I have available, because a lot of the circuit naming schemes I was following was either from Europe or US, and now I can take my parameters and mix them up to a circuit scheme that I have available here in South Africa.
Fantastic, fantastic. And last question before we close off, Dino. We have one that says, what is the difference between Revit Electrical and AutoCAD Electrical? What's your preferred tool? It seems as you are a specialist in both.
So my preferred tool is both of them, actually. I enjoy Revit Electrical a lot, and I've also enjoyed AutoCAD Electrical. Both have their benefits. My suggestion is if you're going into more fine line details, use AutoCAD Electrical for your single line diagrams. However, if you are looking to leverage your AEC build, especially in the electrical department of buildings, I would suggest the 3D component of Revit MEP. And just keep in mind that Revit MEP's electrical is getting a lot better year after year. So take a look at the space and wait and watch for what's coming out.
Fantastic. I totally agree, Dino. Totally agree. Now, for everyone who's obviously joined us, we'd like to thank you for your time. I'm sure you'll be using some of the new features pretty quickly. I'm not so sure, again, if everybody is aware that Modern Design Centers has a YouTube channel. So please, again, check the comments box where we'll be adding the link to it. Before closing the session, I'd like to ask you all to please complete the quick survey for us to provide us with some valuable feedback. The link is in the comments box, but it will also be scheduled after we close the session. 5 people will be selected at random for a free course on one of our training platforms. And if you have any other questions like Dino mentioned, please feel free to get in contact with your relevant account manager or give us a call and one of our specialists will be able to help and assist you. Thank you again for your time, guys. Have a fantastic day further, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.
All right. Thank you again. Bye.